It is recording. We are live. We're not live, but we're
I
recording.
really hope my 5 head doesn't blind people if I turn on
Oh
the
my
light.
God! Look at that thing. Wow, 2 caterpillars and a 5 head. Jeez, and a booger on his chin. Oh,
That's why I
that's
always wear the
just.
bandana, because you probably got a horrendous 5 head too.
Oh,
So
you better believe it. Oh hell yeah! Look at that thing.
it's crazy.
Jesus.
You're damn near bald.
Hell yeah. So, lots of news stories been going on. I have not really. I think the last time I covered all the Microsoft stuff going on was like we're gonna give Zuby a little bit. Zuby Tech over on Twitter does some pretty good stuff. I get some stuff off from. There's some stuff where I'm like I don't know, but for the most part, not a bad Twitter page, Twitter account, I guess you could say, to follow. It's just there has been a ton of information in regards to Microsoft and Activision, PlayStation, like all this court hearings. Like they've been doing court hearings from everywhere from the U.S. to the U.K. And there's been like places like was it like Germany, I think, has gotten involved with it, and like some like it's everywhere. It's like everywhere has been chiming in on this like Activision Blizzard getting bought out by Microsoft, and is it good to happen, and all this and that and the other thing. So the reason why I had this list up, where I guess would be a fun place to start in, is that we know that Activision Blizzard is trying to be bought by Microsoft. What we also know is that they have roughly about $30 to $35 billion to play with over on the Sony camp, where Jim Ryan, Jim Ryan. I'm saying the right name here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
What?
Herman Holtz, Jim Ryan. They have the stuff. If I'm getting the names wrong at all, we kind of slapped this together to start up. Usually I double check all the names and make sure I suck with names. Anyways, so yeah, like they have like $30 to $35 billion to play around with. So this list right here is like market capital of it's basically a big ass list. I'm kind of in the middle of the list a little bit. Let's bring it up here. There we go. So Sony could possibly, as a counteraction, we'll start with this argument of like, what would the companies on this list that you would like to see Sony do a counteraction with, of like, I already have like the three of them that I have been saying since day one.
Capcom would be a big one. Square. Some of those I don't even fucking know. But Bandai, I don't really know what Bandai has anymore. Nexion, who the fuck are they? Konami.
Like
definitely CD, probably CD.
Really?
Yeah, CD Projekt. They did like Witcher and
Witcher
a
and
few others.
Cyberpunk.
So I mean, they pulled up Cyberpunk out of their asses, and now everybody's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, the waifu on the anime helped them out a lot, but they also, I mean, they're rebuilding Cyberpunk. Like I said, when Phantom Liberty drops, it's going to be a totally different game. Like it's actually going to be worth doing a full replay of Cyberpunk, and even though it was kind of longish,
I need to.
It is.
Oh, okay. So that's Tokadawa, whatever.
Yep, that's FromSoft. That's the parent company that owns FromSoft.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's okay.
So, which, if you were to have three companies off this list, what's the three that's in any order? Which three?
Well,
of them?
I guess I'll go ahead and I'll give up CD. I'll go Capcom because they always got good stuff. Square because Square almost can do no wrong. Almost. They've had a couple.
Dissidia. We won't mention that.
And we'll definitely do FromSoft because
we will also not
done some wrong. when is FromSoft gone wrong?
For Square Enix, we won't mention also Forspoken. They never made that game. Yeah, we won't mention those at all.
I completely forgot about that until you said something. So
I know most people did. So my three off from this list. Square Enix right off the bat, I think that's the top one that is probably going to end up happening because of all the exclusivity deals that's been happening between FF7 and FF16 and the Rebirth stuff and everything. It's like it just makes sense that they would end up buying them out, or buying them and partnering with them. Next one on the list would most likely, like, I mean, everybody would fucking lose their shit and everything else. FromSoft, of course. You know, you have the Bloodborne remaster, the Bloodborne 2, the Dark Souls, the Sekiro possibly could be brought over exclusively, like Sekiro 2 could be brought over possibly.
Okay.
Just
on that whole note, I'll raise you. I'll raise you Bloodborne 2 for like completely redoing Dark Souls 2.
okay, like a Dark Souls 2 remake, yeah. So here's my wild card. Now, like everybody's probably like, oh, you're gonna go Take-Two, you're gonna go like Bandai Namco or something. Like Take-Two would be like the WWE series. Of course, Rockstar would be, you know, Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead and all that stuff. But I think bring it down a little bit. Embracer Group. So if you don't know Embracer Group, they're the ones who bought the license for Tomb Raider and Hitman. Bring those two back over to PlayStation exclusive where they started. You have one of the best. You have two of the best series that they've ever been in right now, and then you have Sony funding on top of that. So the Survivor series of Tomb Raider and the Hitman episodic ones that everybody fucking loves, and then you have Sony's funding behind it. That'd be perfect. And it's only $3.12 billion. That's not bad. They've been making so much money off from that.
Well, as soon as you mentioned Tomb Raider and Hitman, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, Hitman VR, and then all of a sudden, for some reason,
that's already happened.
Yeah, no, I know. But then I started going down the rabbit hole, and I go, oh, Tomb Raider VR. No, that would be Lara Croft Boob Simulator VR.
Well, I mean, I will say, I played the demo of the Horizon for PSVR 2. It was actually pretty fun. Like doing all the bows and arrows and everything. Like they had like maracas you could pick up and shake, and drums that you could do stuff with, and you're like opening up doors and opening up cabinets and grabbing stuff out of the cabinets and everything. It was super well done. I was like, this is really cool. And it was just the point of like trying to climb up the side of the wall. And if you look down at all, you're just like, whoa. But
well, maybe for you,
it was really well done. It was just the climbing sections. I was like, oh, by the end of it, I was like, this is so much fun. Another one too, like the Walking Dead type of stuff too, like where they did that was really cool.
You were talking about that. That sounded like it would have been interesting. I need to hurry up and get one.
You can check out the stream to see how good it was. It was.
I think I might have caught part of it.
The story was actually pretty cool. It was better. It was a better story than I thought it was going to be. I actually kind of want to jump back into it and check out more of it. But they have a PSVR 2 version of it, so I'm like, So Square Enix, Embracer Group, and then like there's like the Capcom fan in me is like Sony, Capcom be amazing to see and everything. But in all honesty, I kind of would rather Capcom just stay its own course and not, don't try and fix something that's not broke. They already were almost bankrupt before, and they brought themselves back with the RE engine and everything else. So it's like, just leave Capcom alone. Plus, also, I'd rather see the games come up on PC day one on top of the PlayStation. So then, because look at how much modding I do with Street Fighter and Resident Evil and everything else. So the third one on the list that I would maybe like. So Bandai Namco would be an interesting one, because Bandai Namco is also like, that's Harada, that's Tekken, that's they're also the secondary company that helps out with From Software on the Dark Souls games too. So
it's the only thing I can think of Bandai Namco was the Gundam games, and I'm just kind of like,
yeah, that's another one. Gundam and PSVR 2.
You think you're going playing Ace Combat? You're going to be playing Gundam because it's pretty fast paced.
Like the reason why I also say From Software is just because like I would just fucking love to see it, just like Capcom. I'd love to see that Armored Core VR. Like that's like after seeing. That reminds me, we're gonna have a secondary video also on the channel.
Just a MechWarrior game in general in VR, when you're like in the cockpit, you look around and you got all the buttons and stuff. That'd blow my fucking mind.
Actually, we'll do it during this video. Fuck it, why not? But that reminds me of something that they just put out. Which channel am I on? I'm on the right channel.
Was the same video you've already shown me?
Armored Core 6. So this was 6 days ago. This was the press release gameplay footage. I'll make us both a little bit smaller on screen so we don't take up so much screen space here.
It looks like the same shit that you showed me that Vadi was doing.
Yeah,
Was it Vadi?
yeah. I'm pretty sure. Like everybody, hell, I've done Let's Talk on this footage already myself too. But it's just like, if this is kind of like, so here's the thing. Like, there's no HUD on this. It is kind of chopped up a little bit, but what's making me go, uh-oh, is the fact that it's chopped up and there's still barely anything happening. It's just like a lot of flying around, and then you shoot a couple things and you fly around. I'm like, they need to do something more with Armored Core, because if this is just Armored Core, was it 4, but with prettier paint on it, I don't see this thing selling as well as they want it to. This is Japan we're talking about. Japan has like stupid high
games,
expectations.
the previous ones, you were like running through in like enclosed buildings. You didn't really have much outside.
Sure, but again, they need to
stuff like that. I think it was like probably 3 or 4 when they started actually going outside.
Yeah, 4 and 5. 4 and 5. I've played them all now. I can say that on video. I played all the Armored Core games now, except for the 2 spin-off ones that they did.
And now you understand our struggle.
The biggest struggle I had was, why are they not doing more with this? Like, it's just so basic of what the fuck the game is. Like, all the way from the first one all the way up to 5. At 5, they started to try and do a lot more with the story structuring but the problem was the feeling of it went arcade. And it just, like, the controls on it was just super fucking, it was too loose with the controls with it.
5's biggest thing was like, you can go online, you can make a clan, you can fight other clans. And a lot of and when you got so far in the game, it just felt like the missions were like meant specifically to do with multiple people.
I didn't make it that far into it, but I just did like the first like few missions. I'm like, yeah, the controls are just rough with it. I felt, and I like the storyline stuff that they're trying. If they had the game feeling like Armored Core 4 and they did the storyline stuff of Armored Core 5 and they threw that all together, which I feel like that's what they're going to try and do with this one. Again, though, it's just like this feels.
In the original 5, you were always part of Raven Squad, I believe. And in this one, you're no longer part of Raven Squad. You're something else. And I think they did mention something about Raven in the
like they're hunting down the Raven Squad or whatever. That's
so what the fuck did Raven Squad do now? That fucking that's a big what the hell?
Yeah, there's a lot of customization stuff that you can do.
Or is one of the big corporations, the corpos that you do contracts for, is to just decide, you know what, Raven Squad fucked up and
so this
did something we didn't do something we wanted them to do, and now they're on our shit list.
They're probably like, well, they're making too much money, so we want to eliminate them. You know, it's like, that's the whole thing of the storyline for Armored Core is like corporate warfare.
And well, that's the thing. You're a mercenary. You're a mercenary working for the corporate.
Exactly, but it's corporate warfare where they're hiring the mercs to come in, you know, do their dirty work for them and whatnot.
Oh, we'll see here in August, was it? Next month?
I think, as I've said before, like in the Let's Talk that I did before, it was like, I just really hope that there is the sense of kind of adventure that the other Souls games have had, where like every one of those doors should be like a checkpoint, like your bonfire checkpoint type of thing. And then instead of doing it to where it's like, oh, you just took all this hits and everything during your adventure getting to the boss fight, so we're going to deduct that out of your paycheck. No, scrap all that. Make it to where, you know, the game is harder to give you an extra boost of like, we got to be careful here.
Shell out of the ass based off your
mission.
It's stupid. The price you're getting for the contract for the damage you took.
It's dumb.
Your repairs.
It's
your
dumb.
Ammo.
Like this right here should be a checkpoint area, and then you like have like a little checkpoint area over here where you'd like repair your mech and everything. And because the game is harder and gives you something to actually have to work through, then you have checkpoint areas where you'd stop. And I don't know if it's going to be that. And
that was always the difficulty to the Armored Core, though, is that you had to be quick and dipping and zipping and dipping and flippy diving and all that stuff to avoid getting hit, so you don't fuck your AC up.
I played
get a better payout.
I played I played Armored Core 4 and 5 for about 2 hours apiece, and I didn't die once. They're not hard games. They're super
No.
fucking easy. You're overpowered as all hell, and you just blow everything up. It's only fun for like maybe an hour. The second hour, I'm just sitting there like,
actually, it is the actual freaking like boss fights.
well, that was the problem. There was no.
You're fighting like.
If it takes.
Oh no, you don't like.
If 2 hours in, I'm not at a boss fight. There's something wrong there.
Oh, I don't know.
Actually, no, I did do a couple
remember.
like boss fights, and the boss fights were more fun. But again, it was just like the camera controls were just a pain in the fucking ass. So hopefully that gets fixed in this one.
Oh my god! How much you want to bet they'll fucking add that as an option in like the system settings, so you can go to old school.
I don't see why you would want to, because it just makes it a pain in the fucking ass.
Some people would be fucking
like, it's not even. It doesn't make it hard. It just makes it a pain in the ass, and that's a big difference there. Of like something is actually.
You're gonna have videos of freaking, Korean Jedi's freaking doing it.
It's like shit
with their butt cheeks.
But again, like I said, this here where it's like a boss fight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You're mano a mano against another AC. Them fights were always fun.
So to take this also back to the original thing that we were talking about, like another reason why I'm like, man, if FromSoft did actually get bought out by PlayStation, imagine them updating, because this, I mean, look at the so this is the gameplay.
It looks good.
This gameplay, okay. This is the original trailer though. Versus this original trailer. That is, yes, it's CGI as all hell, but
yeah.
So how about we get an update on the graphics or update on the game engine to make it look actually this instead of I mean, it's on the same level as Elden Ring, and Elden Ring also looked like a last gen title. Like the game engine is getting old at this point.
Okay, FromSoft needs to get a new engine, or they need to
reboot their engine.
Look into using the UE5.
I mean, it's either that or make their own proprietary engine. That's where the Sony money would come in, because it costs a whole hell of a lot more to make your own engine. But if you make it good, like the RE engine, for example, it damn near bankrupt Capcom to make that engine. But what they got in return, it's gold. Like you can customize it. It runs smooth on pretty much anything. If I could, you can scale it. You can make it run the fucking Switch up to the maximum, PC settings and everything else. And that engine it's so versatile. It just works so well. And they can do multiple art styles and everything. So that's what I'm seeing of like, that's something that From Software really does need to invest in the nearest future. So yeah, like I said, I would say Square Enix for Final Fantasy, FromSoft for obvious reasons of Dark Souls and Armored Core if it starts to sell really well. It's really, it comes down to the possibility of like, will it sell really well? And what was the third one? I was you know what? Why not? I'll actually say Ubisoft. Because again, also Bandai Namco, like I'd rather see those games kind of appear on the PC, like Tekken and all that stuff.
Even know,
like Ubisoft. So Ubisoft right now is doing pretty fucking badly, and that is a possibility of like, for as many games as they put out, they're only worth.
They're really freaking holding on to that Assassin's Creed stuff, and it's
Assassin's Creed is what keeps them going. And that's probably their best series that they have at this point is Assassin's Creed. Valhalla was actually like a good step in the right direction. Now Mirage seems like it's bringing it back to what the fundamentals of what Assassin's Creed was. So,
oof. Sorry, I'm looking through the wiki on like FromSoft, and I saw like throwing through here. Eternal Ring. They did Eternal Ring on PlayStation 2, and their international publisher was Ubisoft.
Yeah, because FromSoft was just a little indie developer.
They did Armored Core 2.
That's the reason why they're owned by Kadokawa, I do believe it's called Kadokawa. That's the parent company for From Software. So the thing with From Software is, and this is like the about it is, Sony owns, God, I don't know how much percentage it is. I think it's like 12 or 13%, something like that. That's just ballpark figure off the top of the head. I'd have to look it back up again to see exactly what the actual number is, but I just know that it's like 5% more is owned by Tencent. So they would have to outbid Tencent and then push, basically fully buy them out, because they both own stocks in it. Sony's been trying to put more money into From Software. Who knows, maybe to buy them out in the long run, but I think in the future, though, Square Enix is probably going to be a big one for Sony and From Software.
Hold on. Apparently in 2010, I'm guessing this was only probably released over in Japan land. They did a Monster Hunter game for the PlayStation, the PSP.
Well, that's where Monster Hunter started out. It was a PSP game.
I remember first playing Monster Hunter on
No, it was PSP.
PS2.
It was well, yeah. It came to PS2, but it was first originally made on the PSP. As far as I know.
Well, no, it's just some spin-off crap. It's Monster Hunter Diary, Poka Poka Iru Village.
Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, because everybody, like, that was a big thing when World came out. Everybody's like, "What the fuck? This is a PSP game? Oh no!"
Like, I originally ran down this rabbit hole to try to figure out what the hell is their game engine they're running off from.
Oh, maybe it was a PS2 game. PS2 Wii. Okay, I thought it was PSP they started out on.
Wii? I remember playing Monster Hunter Tri on Wii. Wii.
Yeah, they ported everything over to the Wii also. Okay. I could have sworn it was PSP that started out with. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out because they got all these different publishers, so I'm wondering if they run all this stuff off in the different publishers' engines.
It's more or less like, so it's. I mean,
okay, well,
the newest one is RE Engine. I know that for sure.
So I know we've probably had this conversation before because I'm seeing for Elden Ring and stuff, Bandai Namco Entertainment with them. So is Bandai like their big?
Yeah, that was
their big boss.
Well, no, it's their basically partner in crime, because Bandai can do a lot of the story stuff, and then From Software does a lot of the gameplay or the combat systems.
Then to bring us back over to this conversation we were originally started the podcast for, then in retrospect, if PlayStation was to grab FromSoft or Kokadawa, whatever the hell you want to call it, they'd probably be getting Bandai Namco in the process, or at least part of them, just for.
So they're two separate companies. Bandai Namco and From Software, two separate companies. They just work together on projects. So what they would be getting is the license rights to whatever From Software owns. They wouldn't be getting, because Bandai Namco is just helping them on a technical level. They don't own anything.
Okay.
So it would be like, in all honesty, Harada would probably work with Sony anyways, because he's been working with them for forever with Tekken and everything. So there's relationships there. Like, it probably wouldn't change much. It would just be more or less, like I said, if anything, it'd be just more or less Sony would outbid Tencent, which everybody wins there, and then to get away from China shit, and then
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard, would it? Well,
it's China. Tencent
is a lot of mobile.
Tencent's bigger than Sony. I hate to say,
like, here, take my money, take my credit card.
So Tencent, if you actually look into it, Tencent's ridiculous. They're worth like fucking like $100 billion. They are one of the biggest. They're like, I think there might be even second biggest company or something like that for like software company wise in the world is China. It's like, that's the reason why it's very like all the China stuff. On another channel, I might end up doing something about the China stuff in the very near future. We'll see.
Oh no,
we'll see,
no.
And I'll probably get attacked and canceled for it. But that's a whole other subject to go into. To keep the conversation rolling, though, talk about buyouts and everything. So the FTC and Microsoft, they have been at odds, at war with one another. So this is something that came up. I thought you might be interested in this. According to Microsoft, PlayStation likewise sells a less expensive digital edition for $400 and is expected to release a PlayStation 5 Slim later this year at the same reduced price point. Which this PlayStation Slim, I've heard about it a few times over again, where it is basically you can it's a digital version like I have, but then you can also end up buying a disk drive that you can plug into the USB port on it, or maybe the USB-C port or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie here, but you, like for the last like couple minutes we've been talking, like as soon as you pull that up and you have the white screen on your screen, and it's in front of your face, plus all the lights on there, it's just damn near washing out your face, which is just kind of like, boy, go get some sun.
Just but at the goddamn sidetracked over here. I know, shiny.
Yeah, I know.
Sidetracked. That's it. That's it. Yep, that's it.
Do the line now because we got it going.
What's which line? Oh God,
the famous Dark Souls line.
Oh, praise the sun.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. He was testing my Dark Souls knowledge right there. How big of a Dark Souls fan are you? Took me a second because usually I just walk up to him, I'm like, hey dude, and I walk away. But yeah, I don't know if it so at a $400 price point on a PlayStation Slim, that doesn't sound right to me. It'd be probably like I think if we're talking about the at the 3 year mark,
the hardware on it like they did the PS4 Slims,
and
so
that's
not running.
That's one of the things. Like I don't see them cutting down the hardware. They can't. Because why would they? You know, like we already see Series S. Right? Why is it
gonna be a slim? What's gonna make it a slim to make it cheaper?
Always, the cloud service shit. It's still just cloud service. Like it has no hard drive. You just connect it to the internet. That would be my guess.
Nope.
you take out the terabyte hard drive. That's $100 off the top. They could sell it for maybe $350. And then it's a cloud-based fucking system. I'm just like, that'd be my guess. Knowing the industry.
And then people will be complaining because their hard drives with the processors are melting down because the fan isn't powerful enough.
But it'd be more like, why is this so like laggy and glitchy and shit? Well, you have shitty internet because you bought a cheap ass console. You have cheap ass internet trying to run games on a very latency laggy fucking internet. Because we all know we play online. Anybody who plays online knows you play against Wi-Fi warriors and it never ends well. Even on like the even on the goddamn like it's like Parsec was funny as all hell because it bumps it back onto you with your shade net.
Mom, get my ass kicked. Turn on the microwave.
Jeez. So to go on to the next part of this too. So a breakdown, the statements and comments that many news. I have not actually read through this whole thing, so you're gonna get my live reaction too with this. So Microsoft this past week and others truly asinine statements for Microsoft. I really wanted to. Okay, so Microsoft says it hates exclusives but has exclusivity ever since Xbox has been created with its software, even PC exclusive software. So Satya Nadella, he is the Microsoft CEO. If you don't know what he looks like, I don't think I've ever actually shown the dude's face on this guy here. He's yep.
What?
Yeah, that's who runs Microsoft. He is an immigrant from somewhere. I forget where. He is very bald, and then you also have this is the guy who runs. Let's see here. Yep, Brad Smith. This is the guy who took over Microsoft overall from Bill Gates because Bill Gates is gone, no more. He left completely and sold the company to him. And then of course, you should know this guy right here. You know, this guy. Like
I mean, it's starting to look like
that's the head of Xbox division, Phil Spencer.
It's really starting to look like just the pictures of the guys starting to look like freaking Biden's like cabinet members over there. It's a fucking circus.
Damn. Dude, like if you hear, I mean, when you hear Phil Spencer talk, he sounds like fucking DeSantis. like I swear to God, like those two are like super similar talking. When I started listening to DeSantis talk, I'm like, sounds like Phil Spencer. What the hell? So Satya Nadella, the bald guy, right? I grew
Yeah.
up in a company that always believed that software should run in as many platforms as possible, and that's just the Microsoft I grew up in. I believe in that. If it was up to me, I would love to get rid of the entire sort of exclusives on consoles, but that's not for me to define. Where the fuck is Gears on PlayStation? Especially as a low share player in the console market, that the dominant player there was defined market competition using exclusives, and so that's the world we live in. Phil Spencer, the guy that, like I say, he looks and sounds like Ron DeSantis. I find it completely, counter to what gaming is about to say that part of that is to lock people away from being able to experience those games, or to force someone to buy my specific device on the day that I want them to go buy it in order to partake in what gaming is about.
See, he can't even do the voice because it's so damn ridiculous.
Fuck. Then why is Microsoft software been exclusive and more? So Gears, Epic Games multi-platform developer. Yes, Gears has only ever been on the Xbox and the PC platforms, and it took them like 2 or 3 years to actually get it over there. Mass Effect. Yeah, I remember this. EA's multi-platform developer launched on the Xbox 360 first due to EA saying PlayStation 3 was too hard to develop for, so they skipped the platform and then became like an exclusive. Yeah, that's for years we were playing Mass Effect only on the Xbox.
PS3 is.
It is hard to develop for. Yes, I will give it that.
We just put it in that category of stuff that doesn't exist anymore.
But hey, I love my PS3. Okay, I
Like-
play Guitar Hero. I do all the Armored Core stuff on there.
Devil May Cry 2, Dark Souls 2. There's a lot of stuff that's second in line that doesn't exist anymore because it was so horrible.
Yeah, I mean the sequels are always the hardest to get right, you know. So GTA 4, I remember this was exclusive 12 months DLC, multi-platform game, multi-platform developer. It's very true. GTA 4 was like Xbox. It was like all the marketing for it. What was it? Pierre Moore did all the marketing for that, of like, it is exclusive to the Xbox. Call of Duty DLC, multiple DLCs locked from PlayStation for more than 30 days. First on Xbox Live, that was back in the 360 days. Went through a lot of that myself, and then PlayStation partnered with them, and now it's going to go back again to the fucking Microsoft because all this stuff. Titanfall would have loved to have been on PlayStation from the beginning, but Titanfall never got off the Xbox.
If Titanfall came over to PlayStation, we probably might have gotten a third, and the second one might have been a little bit better.
Did it even go on the PC? I don't think Titanfall was on the PC. I think that's just an Xbox exclusive. I think so. I'm
looking right now.
Pretty sure.
Yes,
it did.
Okay. Origin. Oh yeah, Origin. EA.
Titanfall is on the PlayStation. Okay, what?
Wait, what? What about? Okay, hold on. This better not be clickbait. I just saw something about Titanfall 3.
It's clickbait. It's not. I guarantee you, it's clickbait. Titanfall 2, Xbox One, PS4. Titanfall 2 was on the PS4. Really? I don't remember that actually landing on the PS4. What the hell? I am so confused. I'm probably going to edit some of this stuff out. Pilot campaign, single player.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it's through Respawn. I think Respawn's biting the dust anyways with Apex.
Well, no, Respawn is making the Star Wars stuff. That's what Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor was. The Star Wars.
No wonder it's not EA then.
Star Wars Jedi killed Titanfall, in all honesty, and then they gave it over. They gave all the whole game engine and everything over to the Apex crew to work on. I don't see anything where this is like.
I just Googled.
What the fuck? You're telling me Titanfall 2 is on the PlayStation?
Supposedly. That's what I was reading.
I'm like, I've never seen that. Where the fuck is it? No shit, it's on the PS4.
Yeah, because EA fucking Respawn.
How did I miss that? I guess it's just because I was like, Titanfall 2 didn't grab me as much as the first one did. I thought the fart gas and everything was way overpowered in it, so I was like, eh. I was like,
Fart gas has been in there since Titanfall 1.
Yeah, but it was overpowered in Titanfall 2. Like it was ridiculous in Titanfall 2.
Yeah, because in Titanfall 1, everybody did was, instead of having the big robot fights, they would hijack the Titans and blow them up from the top. I mean, it's a mechanic of the game, but I mean, at the same time, it gets really annoying when you're wanting to have those mech fights.
So what else we got? Tomb Raider, a franchise that's always been synonymous with PlayStation, spent $100 million plus to lock it off from PlayStation. It was Microsoft. They spent $100 million. Dead Rising 3, multi-platform IP, still locked exclusive to Xbox. Hellblade 2, former PlayStation exclusive until they buy it out. Starfield, Phil Spencer canceled the PS5 version. Redfall, Phil Spencer also canceled the PS5 version of that one. Indiana Jones.
Good. Fucking. You call that one because Redfall was trash.
God damn!
I didn't even play it.
Did you see my stream of it? Oh no!
No,
man.
I didn't. You just all the nasty shit you had to say about that one.
Fuck! It was mind numbing. I couldn't believe how bad Redfall was. Starfield. I'm. There's a part of me that's like, I hope it's good, but there's a part of me that's like, I don't expect it to be. I want it to be.
We were having this conversation right before the there. It's Bugthesda.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a Fallout 76 all over again.
It's
hopefully not.
It's Starfield and House.
Let's pray. It's not a.
I just see it going the route of CDPR launch. That's like a Cyberpunk
that
launch.
Going to be complete ass for it's just the first couple months.
Maybe it might work on the PS5. It might work on the PC, but the
Xbox is just going to fucking melt.
Oy. Indiana Jones. Phil Spencer went to Disney and canceled it on PlayStation. All future Bethesda games could all of them could very well only be on PC and Xbox. Because they own the company now.
I've been hearing rumors about Elder Scrolls 6 too, and I'm just kind of like,
yeah, that shit is at least 5 years off. That like it's confirmed by Todd Howard that like it's going to be at least 5 years because they haven't even started on that one. All they've done is be like, we're going to make it eventually. Spent 90
talking about that. Geez, I'm like, go ahead, keep going.
Spent $90 billion plus to take away games from PlayStation. This is not anti-consumer. You believe in this? Is this software on every platform? Microsoft, your words. Phil Spencer later on said this after purchasing Bethesda and confirming Redfall Starfield exclusivity. Contradiction number 2. Exclusive titles in the console space as part of the business. All platform holders do it. They are marketing beats for the platform. So we have to have exclusives, but how dare you have exclusives? Phil Spencer, again, think we have to see others fail in order for us to achieve our goals. Matt Booty. So Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios. He used to be part of the FGC. He was part of, I do believe, Marvel vs. Capcom and one or two of the Street Fighters back in the day. Sony added the business. So basically that's the list of all those companies. That's the reason why that list got brought up, is because you have Microsoft sitting there saying like, hey, the only way we can stay competitive is if we buy other companies and make sure that Sony can't work with them anymore. And it's like, that's some dirty ass business right there. Buy.
Yeah, speaking of that, I just looked it up real quick. It's been 12 years since Skyrim came out.
Yeah.
Then you're tagging another 5 onto from that. I mean, it's fucking almost damn couple decades there. But I mean, hopefully it'll be worth it. Anyways, sorry. Derailing you.
I mean, it's like 10 years from Skyrim to, well, we also had Fallout 76, Fallout 4 happened in between there. Bethesda in-house, I think, also put out a mobile game, I do believe, something like that. Like, you'd have to actually look into the list of everything that they put out, but that's as much as I remember.
I mean, it was good. let's see, 4 or 5, a good 5 years between 4 and 5. So,
Yeah.
but nobody remembers 4. Nobody liked Oblivion.
Let's see here. So, well, actually, that's actually one of the ones that always comes up is Oblivion. That I hear
Really?
people, yeah, a lot of people like. I think it was bad, like it had bad rep at when it launched, but now it's like cult classic kind of type of thing, where people are
When
like,
I hear ESO, I immediately think
"Oh,
back to
ESO."
Morrowind. Morrowind
I
was my jam.
I thought you were talking about Oblivion, like the actual like Oblivion game, not ESO.
Well, Elder Scrolls in general,
Okay.
Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, because I think Oblivion and Skyrim came out before ESO was
I
even a thing.
mean, like fucking. Well, they made so much money off from ESO that they won a Game of the Year award off from it. So it's like,
Oh yeah,
fuck,
I
that's
remember
just,
that. Yeah, Game
yeah,
of the Year.
uh huh. That was totally a thing. Yeah, that was.
Bullshit. Sorry.
Yep. So from
I
2019,
played it for a few
emailed.
months. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was fun. It just got to the point where I got tired of
I
being
tried
fucking
it. I got
monthly.
lost. I got bored. I'm like, I just don't give a shit. I just fucking uninstalled it.
And I've kind of got to the point where I don't have time for MMOs anymore, especially with doing all this crazy shit.
Let's see. All Activision games released on PlayStation. Activision Blizzard games released on PlayStation platforms. Call of Duty marketing rights. What is this? All this better than the deal they have in place with Activision today. Call of Duty titles can go into PlayStation Plus at any time. Clearly, all lies from Microsoft. Let's see here. All these games have been synonymous with PlayStation. Resident Evil's
Yeah,
kind of PC, but
Tony, I'm giving Tony Hawk because I've always played Tony Hawk on PlayStation.
yeah.
Metal,
Again, Grand Theft
Metal Gear I've
Auto is
always played on
kind of
PlayStation.
Grand Theft Auto is mainly PlayStation, but it's kind of grown into
Yeah.
PC market now because all the role playing shit that everybody wants to do it online.
Tomb Raider's always been PlayStation.
Yeah.
Spooderman?
PlayStation.
As far as I know.
It's just
I've only played a couple Spooderman games, so.
I mean, I remember playing Spider-Man 1 on the PS1 and being like, "That's amazing," because I was a big Spider-Man fan back then.
If anything, I remember playing the Punisher game more than Spooderman.
I need to load that up. I think
that was kind of fun actually.
I have that game and I have the Crow on the little.
Oh God, no! Have you watched
on this little guy here?
Have you watched freaking AVGN's thing about the Crow? Ooh.
I don't know. I started it up and it was like
the game work.
It's controlled all right. For a PS1 game, it controlled all right. No, I'll give it that. From what I played for like 10 minutes, I was like, okay, maybe I can throw this on stream. Let's see here.
Matt Bootyhead, head of Xbox.
Yeah. He is the head of Xbox. When these journalists and news outlets defend this, saying it's 2019-2020, they spent $8.1 billion because Starfield was about to be PS5 exclusive. Then they intend to spend $68.7 billion a year later. Another lie from this company. These words are proven correct and happening right now. If this was PlayStation that said this, you'd see it everywhere. Arrogant Sony. Yes, the arrogant Sony line.
Oh yeah, Sony's so arrogant.
Not unusual to me. There is so many biased journalists that contradict themselves as well. So, biased journalists, IGN. They are fucking Xbox fanboys. IGN. It's so like they have a whole ass Xbox show that they do like bi-weekly, and then they also have another and then GameSpot also has one where they just kind of just shit on PlayStation games all the time for whatever reason. Matter of fact, I have like 1,000 view video or whatever where I was like breaking down why like that Xbox show that they have, why it was actual bullshit what they were saying in it. And a lot of people were just like giving me thumbs up on that, saying, yeah, good stuff. But yeah, I just when it comes to all this between all the like acquisition stuff, and I've done everything Call of Duty wise since COD 4, and I'm just like, man, if I with the recent stuff also with Nick Merck's stuff and all that, it's just like Call of Duty to me. I'm just like, man, I get more bang for buck out of like Fortnite and shit now. It's
Yeah.
sad to see, but it's like, man, I would love to be able to go into Call of Duty and be like, okay, I'm gonna buy a season pass and get my money's worth out. I just don't feel that way. And then also the character packs so fucking overpriced. I'm just like, man,
like I kind of almost regret paying the $100 and some fucking dollars I did for Call of Duty 2.
I will.
I mean, I played like a season, maybe a season and a half on it.
So I
think I skipped season 2, started in season, maybe played a little bit of season 3. We're in 4 now, right?
Like, I feel like I got my money's worth of MW2 because I did do like a whole ass, like the single player story was great. Everybody involved was
like the story.
I'm telling you, man, there is like 2 or 3 missions in there.
I need to reinstall it and play it.
There's at least 1 or 2 missions in there that will make you clench your butt so fucking hard that you're gonna have a diamond pop out of it. And then there's another one that looks like the graphics on it looks so goddamn good. It's super realistic looking, especially on the computer version. Probably look fucking amazing. And that people are doing like tech analysis using that one like section of the game just to like try and push computers and everything, and just like see what frame rates they can get and all that. I mean, it looks like Unreal Engine 5, even though the game is not on that. It looks fucking gorgeous.
Was it when one of the ghosts is just kind of sitting there staring the dude down?
But no, that's the meme does come from the game though. No, there's a mission where you're in fucking A, where are you? It's like, I want to say it's like France or Italy or something like that. You're over in Europe somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it is. You got the water in front, and then you have the bridge. You might have seen it pop up in like the shorts and everything, because everybody's been like, "Oh my god, look at this!" when the game first came out. And it's like you're just walking down the street next to the riverway because you're trying to get where the assholes are at, and you're undercover and everything. And it's like a very slow down, moments where it's like you got the blonde chick talking to you and everything. And Price is like waiting for you at the end of the street and everything. And you're walking down the street and you're just like, even on the PlayStation 5, I'm like, fuck, this looks really good. Like, again, I will give credit where credit's due on all that stuff. It's just now the higher ups, like now all of a sudden, so the whole thing is like Bobby Kotick is trying to, my take on it is Bobby Kotick is trying to get as much money as possible. So Bobby has gone on record saying that even though Microsoft wants to buy Call of Duty and everybody's all like, well, Call of Duties are going to go on the Game Pass, Bobby Kotick says he never ever wants to have a Call of Duty on Game Pass because it's going to shortchange the franchise and they're not going to have as much money coming back from it. And that's the whole point of Microsoft buying it.
Destroy it.
Like, that's the whole point of Microsoft buying it, though, so they can put it on Game Pass, so they can make a shit ton of money on Game Pass. Everybody, this has been their theory since like last year, is that we buy Call of Duty, put it on Game Pass, and everybody goes and subscribes to Game Pass. Like, you won't have one computer out there without Game Pass running on it, because everybody's just going to be like, holy shit, this small price, you can get all these Call of Duties, because Call of Duty makes that much money. Although it's starting to lose money now because of all the, the LGBT stuff and, the drama that happened with Nick Merckx. And then you also, you have Nick Merckx that pulled his skin pack out of the game. And then you have Tim the Tatman that pulled his skin pack out of the game. Dr. Disrespect uninstalled the game for the 12th millionth time, but is now like standing behind it, like, I'm not playing this game because you're treating people like shit, just to appease another marketing campaign over here. Which also you can go check out Bass on Blast, my other secondary YouTube channel, which will explain what Doc and the rest of them are actually talking about with marketing scams and all that with those guys, or with the companies. But all that stuff is going to, and then what's caught in the crossfire of all this, which really sucks, Crash, Spyro, fucking, it's anything that Blizzard owns. Which one's it? It's League of Legends or whatever, right? That Blizzard owns anything that's on Battle.net, basically.
No.
Diablo.
League is Riot.
Okay, so it's World of Warcraft. That's a part of Blizzard. I can never
WoW
remember.
is Blizzard.
Okay, so WoW and Diablo. That's
Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone.
All that stuff gets in the
StarCraft, Diablo.
Yeah. All this gets caught in the crosshairs because those licenses are part of this deal. So then all this stuff.
Overwatch is Blizzard too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. All these different IPs, like they all get bought up by Microsoft, and sure, it gets thrown onto Game Pass. But then if okay, so what is it? Diablo you got to pay full price for. Overwatch is free to play. World of Warcraft has a free to play elements, but I mean the best thing that would happen with World of Warcraft is maybe get full access through Game Pass on World of Warcraft, but at the same time they're losing a bunch of money there because everybody gets free access to it. It's like no matter which way you go about it, it's like fuck. It's not a good deal, and this is the reason why.
Maybe we get Wolf to play World of Warcraft.
I did. I played it once on stream. I tried it.
Yeah, you played. You played the vanilla version, right?
I played the most up-to-date free trial version of it, whatever the hell that is. I made a character.
You played World of Warcraft Easy Mode.
Sure.
You should go play one of the vanilla servers and go back to what we had to do back in the day.
What I liked was
the grind was real.
Nobody was on the server, and I could just do it like a single player game. I was like, I'm having fun. And then as soon as somebody got around me, I'm like, no, go away. And then the boss fight was like, just like meh. I'm like, it just felt like another enemy because everybody's like, I'm farming.
You came in right around I think they were getting ready to drop, or if not, just drop the new DLC. So everybody's on their overpowered max level characters running the DLC and doing all that shit. They don't want to go back there to the old stomping grounds.
I don't want to be around other people. I just want to play the game like it's a single player game. I just want to do my own thing, just like Diablo. Like, just get everybody away from me. I'm gonna go in and do this thing. That's the way I want to play it. I don't want it to be an MMO. I want it to be a single player game.
Well, when you go into dungeons and stuff, you're solo. You don't have other people walking into that dungeon with you. It's the overworld that you have the other people that'll walk around, and they might help you in a fight. Otherwise, my experience most of the time is they just kind of look at you funny and walk.
On World of Warcraft, I had I was running through the forest and I had somebody trying to follow me. I'm like, no, go away. I'm like, go that way. I'm going this way.
I got invited. I did one time. I was doing some world event, and actually, I think it was like a big world event. And there's a couple of guys that I was helping out. They invited me, and then we ended up doing a random dungeon, and we met the butcher.
It's the Butcher, man.
Butch is so overpowered in that game, and for Butch is. Ooh.
I'm trying to think. We're so off topic now. You're
going on about this whole thing, breaking down statements and comments. Matt Bootyhead.
I mean,
Microsoft needs to give the hell up. Stop trying to be Mr. Big Shot, because a lot of these companies are starting to realize, like, oh, you're going to buy us out, and then you're going to force us to put our shit on your Game Pass, and essentially we're just going to flop.
Actually, that's a good point, because so now everybody was saying to me like, oh, we'll see if companies, because the way companies do it is they bring in, Microsoft brings in a big bag of cash and then everybody gets paid. I'm like, sure, for one project. So what happens when the next project, they want to make a sequel? What happens then? If Microsoft goes, we don't want to pay for that. Well, then they own your ass and you're done. If Microsoft says, well, you're going to go work on Hellblade 2, now your whole development studio is not working on the project that you want to work on. Now you're forced to be pushing over as a B developer for their next big AAA title. Like if they're making another Gears of War or something. And so here's where Sony does it different. I know everybody's going to be like, well, Death Stranding had every single development studio help with that one. Yes, but also those
Yeah, that's
development studios.
Kojima.
Well, it was so they helped Kojima. They weren't just focused on that one project. They were doing it basically on the sidelines, helping Kojima out. Kojima was doing everything mostly himself. It was just like, hey, can we come over for a mocap session? Sure, we have this time slot schedule, and boom, they go. Like he goes in there with the cast and crew and team and everything. They make the scenes, and then that was I need to figure out a way of making the bike happen. Can I go? Oh, okay, I'm gonna go to Gorilla, and this is back when Herman Holtz was still working at Gorilla. And okay, so Aloy is over there, riding on a horse. So we take that and refocus it into a bike, and now all of a sudden we have a bike, simulation going in the game with good controls and everything. That's how it was with Sony. It's like everybody's working together, but they're still working on their own projects. We still had Horizon Forbidden West comes out, and that they've been working on for years, but they also helped out with Death Stranding. So everybody's still working on their own thing. It's just everybody's helping each other out. This doesn't really happen with Microsoft. It's like, figure it out. Here's a bunch of money. Just throw money at the problem. Do thing. Make it work on Game Pass. And then we have Redfall.
We
happen.
own Windows. Here you go.
It's like, and then we have Redfall.
Okay, that game didn't work out.
Like,
we don't want another one. Fuck you. Go do this. Go make a new game. Everybody will love it.
It's like I can tell you right now, because the other thing that I've heard about all this stuff too is that if Starfield does not sell, I can tell you right now that
Bugthesa is gonna go down. Probably yes. I was gonna fucking go.
Here, I'll do this.
Go down in shames.
It's like I can tell you.
Why are you blowing me up?
I can tell you right now that if Starfield does not sell well, then Microsoft is probably looking at Bethesda like it is, they're just costing us money. And that's not, you do not want to be in that position, especially not with Microsoft, because look at how they're not afraid to shut down studios. They're not afraid to, like, Bethesda in-house. They won't be like, well, Bethesda's no more. It'll be like, okay, Bethesda in-house, now you're just on the Doom crew because Doom sold well. It'll be something like that. They'll refocus in Bethesda in-house to work on other stuff, which, in all honesty, if they keep making like duds of games, maybe that might just be a good thing anyways. Like, he has emotes that are popping up on screen. I am very scared right now. It's
no, that was referencing to what you were saying and what you just did.
So I'm just,
I don't want to put you on blast on that one, but
I'm just like
my own thing. I just nitpick at all the stupid shit Wolf does here.
So
that's gonna be my whole new. That's gonna be my thing with a new branding.
What, a reaction? You're gonna react to all my
react to your videos. I'll react to your reactions.
Yeah.
There we go.
Double reaction of you reacting to my react, that I reacted of somebody else reacting to that reaction with a E3 celebration that happened 10 years ago.
React Inception.
It'll be like bloop, 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 all these different fucking, oh my god, happening. Yes. I guess one way of finishing this out, what are you looking forward to that's coming up?
100% AC6. Definitely for that. Liza P.
Yeah,
it was different, but it was a good different.
I felt like it was Bloodborne 2 in the best way possible. It's like,
what else we put? I'm not 100% looking forward to it. I will check it out. I'll probably do a couple videos of it actually next week, isn't it? 14th? Yeah, next week, Friday.
What?
Exoprimal.
Oh, Exoprimal. Jeez, I forgot that was even a thing.
I haven't had hands-on with it yet. I mean,
I can
check it out.
My problem is I've had hands-on with it, and I'm just like, I'm already over it after having like a couple hours of hands-on, because there's not much to it. I'm gonna check out the story mode to it just to see what it's not Dino Crisis.
Yeah,
that's about probably my extension of my. I think it's co-op.
It's not Dino Crisis.
It might be better if we play it co-op. It might just be a little bit like that. Might be the one time ever that we actually do something of a brand new game co-op. Shit.
I'm interested in looking at what Payday 3, maybe playing a couple
Mm.
rounds of Payday 3 just to see if it's any different from Payday 2.
It's not going to be. We already
Um,
know it's not. It's just not.
like
I
I am looking forward for Starfield, but at the same time, I'm don't have high hopes
I
because
could
it's Bugthista.
I'll say this. I'll do like an hour of Payday 3. I'll give it that much time just to see if it's doing. I already know what it's going to be. But I'm just curious to
Probably
see if like
on my wish list right now.
um. But yeah, Liza P. That's same one for me. Also, I think that's probably the biggest thing on
Let's
the list
see.
because Armored Core 6. I just don't know if I might just get bored with it. I don't know. It might be like I'm really it's the
PC wise,
fact of
that's the
it's
only
like
thing I'm gonna say. I'm honestly
$60.
excited for right now is Nightingale, but I have still yet I'm like signed up for it and everything. I'm still waiting for my fucking chance to get into one of these fucking beta tests to check it out. Uh, so I can be like, yeah, it was kind of cool. It was great. I really can't say much other than
I can
that.
never remember what that game
Um,
actually looks like. I can never remember what
it's
the hell the damn.
a oh my god, like not steampunk, but it's a fantasy British, Britain, like almost.
Oh, the first
You
person
guys look like,
shooter, right? Yeah. The FPS, like
what?
yeah, it's like FPS.
Nightingale?
Yeah,
No, it's a survival builder, and you go through like these different doorways and rebuild the worlds.
survival. I've looked at this game like 3 different times. I can never remember what the fuck it is. So it's probably like it's just like it's like down here on the list. Maybe it'll be
Oh,
fun. Maybe it'll be cool. I don't know.
here's oh my god, you want to go beat your fucking brains out? What was it that I bought and absolutely hated it after I bought it? Hunt Showdown. There you go. There's.
You bought that, dude? That
I
shit. That
bought
shit
it
is.
way back when it came out. It was fun, and then it just turned into a big fucking battle royale. Nobody cared about going for the objective. It was all kill the other team.
Well,
So
that's what the whole thing was about, was battle royale, and then there was an objective in there just to give it something extra to do. Like the whole thing of it was like shoot the shit at each other. And then there was like giant spiders and shit that popped out. That's why I was like, nope, never playing this. I'm done. I saw Doctor Disrespect playing it. I'm like, this looks kind of cool. And all of a sudden, it's like, "Brah!" I'm like, nope, nope, never,
I mean,
never
I'm
touching that
also
shit.
I'm interested in Pale World, but I mean, the only reason
Pokemon
I'm really
with
Pokemon with guns.
guns,
Yes, and
yay!
I'll, like if you go watch the video, like I can get him a link. He can put it down there in the description if he wants to what it is. Basically, you will watch it. Everything that's shown here is blatant rip fucking Pokemon,
It is.
but they have tweaked it just enough so
I
it
don't
does
know
not
how
look
in the hell they're not
like
getting away with
Pokemon.
like
So Game
Nintendo.
Freak can't
Where
do shit about it.
Nintendo wants to shut down all these damn FGC tournaments, but they want to shut down fucking like Pale World, where they're just blatantly copying their fucking IPs. I'm like, how? How is this a thing? Jeez, Nintendo
Probably because they look
priorities
at it and
over
go, "Oh,
here.
that's a pretty interesting concept. Why didn't we ever think of that?"
The next Nintendo game is going to be a fucking like a Splatoon ripoff, where it's like Pokemon
Yep.
just shooting each other with the battle royale. Say,
I mean, they already freaking made a freaking MOBA Pokemon game.
oh god,
Played that a little bit when I had a Switch. I played a few rounds of that, and I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't. It's not violent enough
that's
to be a MOBA."
that's another. I've heard some stuff and things about possibly a Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm just like, okay, if Nintendo goes down that route, I was really thinking they might go just like a partnership route. But if they want, in the Switch 2 would be on the level of PS4, basically.
They'd be almost 2 generations behind. It wouldn't be worth it.
This is where Nintendo's at.
Get it, remake the little mini Nintendo, make a mini Super Nintendo, right? Right, hear me out here. Have the ability to hook it up to the internet, pay a fucking subscription fee, and you can go download all the old school fucking and download and play all the old school freaking Nintendo Super Nintendo games.
It's already on here.
I mean, they don't have the full library. They only have a handful.
I don't know. I know N64 games, a full library's on here. I know that one. Because when I was
There's a full library of N64 games on there.
yeah, it's not that N64 and SNES and all that is not that big of. They're tiny. Like I can.
Oh, I know it's tiny, but I mean that's a lot of fucking.
I could fit the whole N64 and SNES library on this fucking thing and run it. It's like I think it's like 8 gigs for both of them put together. It's not, and maybe even less than that. It's like maybe like 5.
And you go back and think about like how long does some of those games were.
They're tiny though.
Games now, you got a game that's like
they're like 10 megabytes.
180 fucking gigs, and it takes you like what, 4 hours?
It's because the game engine. Like you have 4K assets, you have 4K. A lot of times you'll as like okay, The Last of Us, for instance, it's 8K assets on the characters. It's 4K on the cutscenes itself, and then it's also the game engine that runs all the combat and everything is like another like 12 gigs, I think, something like that. And then you have all the rest of it is all like the textures and the everything.
And
else
that goes into referencing that one.
It's like
something I sent you about something about like there was more pixels in Lady Devaskew's ass than fucking like.
Oh yeah.
Some games back in the day.
The art, I think it was like a week before the game came out because Lady Dimitrescu was like trending so fucking much and everybody was so fucking horny for her. And I think it was the art director or something like that came out with that. They're like, well, you might like to know this. Her ass has more pixels than, it's like, of course it does, this is in the Tomb Raider territory of things where Tomb Raider had more pixels. What was it? Tomb Raider had more pixels in her torso than like the full on of like the first Crash Bandicoot game or some shit.
Well,
like
I know you
don't.
Yeah,
I mean, she went. They went full on Madonna with her back in the day. Where the fucking
I've actually just scrolling around the internet. I've seen pictures of people cosplaying as the old school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, oh god, yes.
I follow one of them on Twitch that she did that a couple times there on stream because she was playing the Tomb Raider game. She's all like, check it out. And it was like, bing. It's like, okay, all right, yeah. But yeah, I think let's see here. Like I said, like Liza P was probably the big one on both of our lists. I think that one's going to be. I don't think everybody knows about Liza P, but I think that one's going to end up being like that one of those. It's going to be like the next Sekiro. Everybody's like, what the fuck is this? And then
doing a big talk about that because we got to play through the demo both. So soon, maybe when we have time.
Yeah, we'll probably because I have a feeling we're probably going to burn right through it because it is so goddamn good that we're probably just going to be like, I gotta do more.
I'll have to see if I have time because that's right around the time that I'm potentially doing the big move,
and you have a whole rebranding to do.
Of Twitch. I started making a video and then you like critique the fuck out of it, so I got to remake it.
Yeah, because the viewers want good content, not just more content, but quality content. We need that. We need to get that spice in there.
Where I'm doing that.
We need to get that good space. By the way, that game, the Ravenbounds there. I might actually check it out on stream once I get everything all set up.
In all honesty, as quick as I picked up the combat in the game after a couple losses. The boss fights are all damn near the same freaking this damn near same shit.
You know what you need to check out?
Telegraphed is all fuck.
You need to sit down and check out the Rose DLC for Resident Evil Village. It's on the PC. You can check it out pretty easily and everything. And then also the
I will potentially have to go
Rose
acquire
DLC.
it.
The
fuck, I got the
what's
money.
The other one? God damn it! There was something else. I
know you were talking about it. And I was like, I almost kind of want to wait and get a PS5 and get a VR headset and do that in VR. Because the one place I already know it's gonna get me good. It's probably gonna be when freaking
the Rose DLC is not in VR. It's just the main game. but the dollhouse is there for the main game. I do believe
Yeah.
I need to, because I still have not actually gone through all the DLC stuff with the VR on, or I haven't gone through Resident Evil Village with the VR on fully. I just played like about an hour of it. I'm like, it's really cool, but it was like getting to the 2 hour mark of being in VR, and my stomach was like, nope, not having it. And I'm like, all right, we'll come back to it.
I
It's, I'm telling you, you don't even need VR. That DLC is that good. It freaked.
okay.
I have a very good
I
BRB
will,
screen clip of me getting freaked the fuck out off from it myself, and I don't
I
get
will try to arrange the fundage.
the whole
We'll see what
like
happens.
the whole dollhouse thing, or the whole like mannequin thing is just like what, and then that room happens. I'll just say that, and I'm just
what
like,
the hell was
what
that
the
other
fuck?
one you kept going on about that came out? Was another one of those choose your own adventure games.
I
Fuck.
was trying to remember
The Cavern or some shit like that.
the Quarry.
It-
The
Quarry.
Quarry, yes. I need
They're
to.
gonna put
I
that-
need to
okay.
revisit the Quarry and stream that. That might be actually my Halloween game. I might do it this year. That game was fucking good.
If I can figure if we can figure this out right, come around Halloween for October. 4 weeks. What is there? There's 4 to the anthology right now, or is there 5?
I'd have to look it up. I have no idea how many there is. I mean, you got. Let's see here. So,
Man of Madon, House of Assholes. That's the only two I know.
you got the
So
boat
we played
one.
House.
Let's see here. You got the
Yep.
boat one. You got
That's Madon.
the Boston witch trials thing there. Then
I didn't get to play that
then
one.
you have the Afghanistan one where it was soldiers,
3.
one that we did co-op, and then
Yeah.
you have the murder the college one, which is all the college kids get murdered by. It wasn't that great in all honesty. I played like the first like hour of it. I'm just like, this cast just kind of sucks. Like it's not the actors, it's the characters that they're playing, because they're all college kids that are just bitching at each other the whole time. I'm just like,
Okay. Well, then we'll at least play the 3.
we
should do a run through of all 3 of them. This
think,
October.
I
Shouldn't
think
be Halloween itself, but just like throughout October,
I'm trying to
try.
remember.
I mean, it's
I
like-
think the Quarry has multiplayer built into it, so that might be a
Ooh.
possibility. Also, and I'm telling you, the Quarry is like, so the Quarry is made by the same ones that made Until Dawn, and you remember how good that one was.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's like,
Yeah, it had a couple moments in there where that scarecrow thing popped up. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean
You
that
got
those.
me.
Like I think you're better at playing those games than I am, just because I'm there in the chat. If I could just making that crazy ass, you can actually concentrate on it, and I'm in the chat being like, don't kill the person, and all that stuff. But for me, I'm just like, I got this. But
we won't talk about House of Assholes again. I mean,
I got to replay the whole thing. I got to see. I got to see how Ashley Tisdale can survive through Afghanistan while she's cheating on her boyfriend and all that stuff. Also,
that close. Except
I have.
I told you to go the wrong direction.
Wait until you see. That's another thing on.
I
in
haven't
October.
told you what side I was planting the damn trap on.
Oh, that's right too. October this year is going to be super fucking packed. So we're gonna see.
What's going on in October this year?
Hold on a second.
Gotta pull out his notepad. Oh, jeez.
Wait, I don't.
Games coming out
Fuck.
in October 2023.
It's.
Let's see. Detective Pikachu Returns.
No.
That's movies. No, Mirage. Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
Mirage.
Assassin's Creed
Lords of the
Mirage.
Fallen. Alan Wake 2. Okay.
Yeah. It's a
I
stack
don't know.
month.
I'm so far behind in the Assassin's Creed games. It's gonna take me like 2 years to catch up. Lords of the Fallen, that's gonna be like the whole game redone far as we know.
I'm gonna try and do
I haven't
something for
looked into it.
Assassin's Creed. I don't know if it's gonna be good or not, but I'm gonna try and go through the chronological order of on the Assassin's timeline and do it.
I have to check out. I don't have to check out Lords of the Fallen. Alan Wake 2. I have fucking no idea what the hell happened.
I can't wait
with
for
Alan
that.
Wake 1,
I can't
so,
wait for
I mean,
that. So I just got Alan Wake Remastered on the PS5 in the PlayStation Plus collection. I'm just like, let's go. Let's fucking go. It's Sam Lake, back when he was. So I'm a
Sorry.
big Remedy fan, and it all started with Max Payne. Sam Lake, he was Max Payne in the first game and all that, and then he wrote a damn good one for all the Max Payne series. And then Alan Wake was the alternate series because they got sick of just bang 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 drugs, guns, and everything with Max Payne. So they made Alan Wake. It's just like this nerdy writer who writes a horror story and it comes to life. Is Alan Wake? And then he gets dragged into the world that he wrote. And so like Alan Wake 2 is like this crazy thing of like all of a sudden like he wakes up years later and this and that and the other things happen. So
Ooh.
Also
Metal Gear
Control.
Solid Masters Collection, Volume 1.
Yeah. That's an interesting one because that might be the first time that we see Metal Gear Solid 4 on anything other than the PS3. Like they are remaking it possibly for that collection, which everybody's like, what the fuck? Holy shit. So yeah, I need to get back into Metal Gear Solid too. That's
in the Dark.
That's gonna be a good one. That'll be fun. I think it's very slow and puzzly, but it seems like it's gonna be. It's got Harper and
Metal Gear 3. Okay, because that was I kind of enjoyed Metal Gear 3 because that was the one where you get to like when you got
pretty much
stuff,
yeah.
Konami
Your
stuff and pop the bullet out of yourself.
Well, it's going to be a remake, so we don't know what's going to be in it. But
oh come on, you got to keep that stuff. That's one of the best shit in there.
It basically they're trying to reboot Metal Gear Solid. That's what the whole thing is. They're rebooting it, and the crazy part is they actually it's no Kojima, but we have David Hayter.
Okay.
So we have Snake, but we don't have Kojima, and I'm just like, maybe I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to come out. We need to see more.
That's going to be like playing, going back through and play Death Stranding without Troy Baker voicing the bad guy.
To me, if David Hayter wasn't there, it would be like Sam Fisher not being Michael Ironside. It just doesn't feel right. It's super weird. It's like that's the if anybody who's played Splinter Cell knows exactly what I mean. Like that character is just Michael Ironside. Like he's so natural playing it.
Should actually
or Hitman actually. Agent 007.
Agent 47 doesn't really talk all that much though.
Well,
he's just there.
He had so they tried to replace Agent 47's voice voice actor, and people threw so much shit fit that they actually had to like post or reschedule one of the games. What was it? Absolution. They tried to bring in somebody new to replace him, and the fans were just like, nope. And they canceled pre-orders and everything, and then they were like, okay, we'll bring it back in. And he's like, cool. And he came back in and did the thing. It was like,
I mean, you guys got all like what 6 lines?
Well, Absolution. So that's the thing with Absolution and the Hitman episodic ones. He talks a lot more. He talks with Diana a lot, and especially with Absolution, he was talking like he goes and rescues the little girl, and then he's talking to the nuns. And
that's one where he technically defects from
the
thing to go rescue the girl. Yeah, I didn't get up to the. I don't even think I got to the chapter. I didn't buy the DLC where you get to go fight the.
Technically, that's the funny part is everybody hates Absolution. That was my first Hitman game. Everybody hates FF13. That was my first Final Fantasy game. Like I jumped into all these series on the ones that everybody's like, this sucks. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Get the fuck out of here, Zoomer. Go, shoot.
Zoomer, this motherfucker. This motherfucker.
Hey! I am more Gen X than you are.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm off. I'm off by like 9 days of being officially a Gen X.
Shit.
So.
I'm like
9 days.
I am by like 4 years. Whatever. Yeah, it's like 94 is millennials cutoff, or something like that. 96 or something like that. I just looked it up to. I think it is. It's like 94 or something like that, and then 95 onwards is like Gen Z or whatever. I don't know. It's like I'm like it's sort of towards the tail end of millennial. I'm like in the middle ground of millennial.
You're a crossbreed.
Yeah, I really am.
Even if I was like 9 days earlier, I'd still be in that crossbreed. but technically I would have been Gen Z, but I still consider myself more.
I mean,
The more and more I look at it, as like I'm definitely Gen X / millennial.
it's like
All
if
three.
you come from around the early 90s, it's like you had so much 80s influence on you because nobody wanted to let go of the 80s because everybody had so much fucking fun. And then the 90s was just like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. That's what I remember the 90s. Just like, fuck you, yeah. And then it was like, hip hop turntables and shit like that. Tupac Shakur, fucking Biggie Smalls, Snoop Dogg, smoking blunts, drinking weed, getting hosed, and different area codes. All that shit was like that. That's
You're
what.
listening to that shit when I'm listening to like Godsmack and
But then
Metallica.
exactly that was the other
Born.
where my age group was listening to all that.
Coldplay.
I was at home listening to Metallica and Sabbath and Zeppelin and like it's such a fucking crossbreed to me. It's like. I just got bashed upside the head with both. That's my life story right there. Bashed upside the head with multiple generations of everything, and now I'm trying to make a new series where I'm using the word based on a regular basis. So I'm like starting to. It's like you start to be around the fucking Gen Z because all the gaming and tech world and everything, and you're just like fuck. I got 3 generations.
I gotta learn these new teams. What's this yeet? What does that mean?
Have you ever heard of Riz? This is a new one. Riz. You got the Riz. We got the Riz. It's the Riz.
I think they're trying to take it back off that one. The fucking what is it? Dancing on the Ritz or something like that. It's supposed to be cool.
So
like
if
bad used to be cool.
If a dude has Riz, he can talk to a lady real easy. So it's like having game basically. Like you got game.
Oh, okay.
But it's Riz because why not? Oh man. Anyways, we've been going for an hour 20 minutes. I need to wrap this up. And yeah, we started off with the PlayStation topic. Well, this has been this is just gonna be a all over the place podcast. It's fine. We're good. You don't have no sign off. You don't have any chill or sign off or anything. He has nothing set up. I was trying to get him to do all this, but he was too busy playing 7 Days to Die.
I'm trying to figure out because the other one was Stay Frosty. That makes it work. This one is just like
he's
I'm working with something, signing out, flips.
Like
seeing on the flip side.
We won't say anything of what his what he's going with, but it's in the works. It's in the works. It's underneath the NDA right now.
There's your clue.
It's underneath NDA. We can't say anything. All right.
Jesus fucking Christ! We can talk about all we fucking want. They know who the hell I am.
It's the least. It's the least legally mounted NDA thing ever that no company ever owns or anything because nobody. We're the most successful unknown people ever on the internet. At least I am. At least I am. That's he's got to work on everything. Yeah. So, anyways,
the process between having a job, one of those things.
Yeah. And
the job constantly fucking. You're the one guy that's able to come in and work fucking the ridiculous amount of hours a day.
He jumps on a game that has absolutely no end game to it, and he's all like, "I'm doing things," and then I'm just like, "What about the channel though?" And then this is what happens. This is what I got to work with. This is what I got to work with every time. He just does not
understand the enjoyment out of survival builders.
Oh, I played Valheim way too much on stream. I don't even know why I played it that much on stream. I built a house and I had like 30 people sitting there watching me build a house. I'm just like, why is people watching me build a house? I'm no expert.
Because people are watching you trying to figure out how to do the damn the structural stuff with the scaffolding and shit, because they can't figure it out.
This
guy knows what the fuck he's doing.
Man, when I started putting the pieces together and there was lined up green, I'm like, okay, if it's lining up green on each piece, that means it's stable. It's gonna stay together and whatnot. And then I had like 12 people in chat being like, I'm like, I'm figuring this out too.
Chat was just like seeing you doing it, and the chat was just like, where is it?
Give me a second. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep. And then he gets attacked by a bunch of trolls. He's like,
Yeah. Oh no, it definitely was. It definitely that was too perfect too, because the emote went right in the middle of the screen, right over top of the mouth. So it was like that was a perfect censorship right there. Just it's a big giant duck emote right in the middle of the screen. It's just I can't do it on my end. It's buried. Anyways, yeah. So if you're watching on the YouTubies, which I don't know why you'd be watching anywhere else, if you find this video anywhere else, you better tell me because it's bootlegged. But go and hit that like button, the subscribe button, the bells.
They're gonna AI tech my face over your face, so it's just me. They're gonna just
That'd
wipe me
be.
out.
I think you would need probably two of me to fit into one of you. That's just the on screen. I'm just big bones. Big bones. It's that's so anyways.
That's it. I'm rebranding again. I'm rebranding it like 20th time.
So yeah, like, subscribe, share,
Wow.
and keep an eye out for his new channel stuff. We'll probably make a video being like, hey, check that out, and I will not link to any new channel that he has because he doesn't have anything on the new channel yet. So as soon as
I don't. So there's no point in
there's
linking anything.
no point at all.
What the hell the name
to
is
we're,
yet?
We're getting there. It's a rebranding, and I just launched a new channel. You can also check out Base on Blast, where I talk about social political commentary and stuff. It's definitely something to go see. Yeah, what is Base? You just heard it here, so go check that stuff out. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Hour and a half. That was fun. We gotta do these more often, like once a week.
We're trying. We are trying.
That's some deja vu from before when I said that before.
Oh God, back when I was trying to start a whole different podcast.
We've had months.
I never did the research.
We've had months to do like you've had solid internet and all that stuff for like months now, and just we never sat down to do a weekly podcast. Could have happened. Maybe in the future it will. We'll see.
We're getting there.
We'll see.
We're slowly getting there.
But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. Hour and a half. It was fun. I got stuff to shift around and pick up and do and clean up and everything. But yeah,
I hear my bed calling my name.
Yeah, right.
I've got a long day tomorrow.
I will be back soon. And I'll be back over on the Twitch side of things. So if you want to see when I go live, hit that follow over on the Twitch also, Werewolf on Twitch, and here on the YouTubies. And yeah, that'll do it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.